This is going to be awesome. You're going to love it. I hope you're going to love it. So we're going to talk about how to get your message to the right people using personalized video. Actually, let me just turn on my slides so that you have this. And you can see what it is we're talking about. I love this topic. And sorry if I kind of geek out about this, but I'm the kind of person who believes that we all have a purpose. We have a mission. We have something, kind of a life's work to accomplish. And I believe one of the best ways to really get that out there is to use video. And I want to help you do that. I mean, you already know that you need to use video or more video, right? Happy to help you get over some of the things that are keeping you back, limiting beliefs, fears, doubts, not knowing what's possible. Anyway, we're going to go over all of that today. I just wanted to welcome you to class. And anyway, just super happy to have you here. One of the things I will point out, let's see. Yeah, okay. So I wanted to share this with you real quick. So just to give you kind of a little sense, a lay of the land here. So this is just me and you. We're just having a little chat here. I don't have a virtual assistant. I don't have a team behind me. I don't have a video crew helping put this together. It's just the two of us. Now, the reason that I want to point this out at the very beginning is I want, through this whole presentation, through everything that I share with you, I want you to be able to look and go, I can do that. Okay, I want to model for you what is possible. And if you're the kind of person who feels like you have a calling, a mission, a purpose, something, that you need to accomplish, or maybe you have a business and you really want to get that working right, and you want to connect with the right people, using personalized video is absolutely the way to do that. So let me go back. Look at that great blank slide, right? Let me just go back to my slides here. Okay, so this webinar, this web class, is for people who want to exponentially make a difference, okay? If you feel that you were meant for more, if you want to be a force for good in the world, this is absolutely gonna speak to you. And if you feel this need to have your voice heard, not that you need to be like validated for your existence or anything like that, but you've got something inside that really needs to come out, to be heard, to be seen, to be shared with others, that can help make life better for somebody else. Okay, who this is not for is for people who are content to just stay the same, and not just themselves, but also the world. If you're just fine with how things are right now, this webinar's not for you, this web class. Okay, it's not for those who want to get rich quick, and it's not for those who want to be internet famous. Okay, so let's just clear that out. If that's what you were looking for, you might find better value somewhere else. But for people who are heart-centered, who want to make a difference, want to make a living making a difference, we're going to talk about some great stuff today. So, if you're a heart-centered entrepreneur, or if you're working to make the world a better place, or if you want to serve as many people as is humanly possible, yes, personalized video is the way to do that. And if you feel that you have a life's purpose or a life's work, a big purpose or a life's work that you really want to accomplish, that you feel deep within you, this is going to speak to you, okay? And we're going to open up some ideas and get rid of some limiting beliefs that have been holding you back on that. So with that, let me jump into my story. And I'm going to just turn off the slides for just a minute while I just tell you a little bit about me. So let me introduce myself. My name is Scott Wilhite. I'm a filmmaker. I'm a father of four, husband to the wonderful Becca Wilhite, the author. And anyway, I live a wonderful life now. I'm a filmmaker. Kind of an interesting story about me is when I first got into filmmaking, I've been an advertising copywriter, and then I got this position where I was a director, directing commercials. And I remember going to direct my first commercial, and I'm walking across this grassy courtyard in front of this old historic building. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And I'm walking with the director of photography, George Reiner. And I said, so George, you're the director of photography and I'm the director. So what is it that you do and what do I do? And I just didn't know. I had no clue how to do this. Well, he was kind enough to take me under his wing, show me how things work, and it worked out really well. You can see some of my awards. I've earned some trophies for the thing I've done, which has been great. But if you're anything like me, if you have found great success in life and yet felt unsatisfied, felt like, wait, isn't there more? And aren't I meant for more? That's where I was. and I was struggling. You know, here I am creatively successful, winning a bunch of awards, but inside I felt empty. I felt like there was more to give in my life, and I didn't know how to do that. And I was looking at my job thinking, this is my problem. You know, at that time I was doing fundraising films, and generally my films were shown to small groups of people, you know, wealthy families or cottage meetings, or, you know, at the most they would have like a big gala event, and they would fill the ballroom with maybe 300 or 500 people in there, and they'd show the film in there. So, you know, as I'm watching this, I'm feeling so confined. I'm feeling so limited that my films are not being seen by more people. I am limited by this room, and I can't seem to get my message further out than just what is around me. Okay, it was really frustrating. And I remember that I felt such purpose anxiety that I started to lash out at other people. Now, I used to tell myself, oh, you know, it's just because I'm a tortured or something like that, you know. And I was really horrible. Honestly, I was horrible. But I thought that's just how life was. I thought that's just how life was for me. Anyway, I didn't realize other people knew what was going on, and they could see that. You know, my wife's keeping her distance, and my kids are walking around on eggshells, and my coworkers are just like, what is up with this? Tolerating me at best. Well, I remember one time I lashed out at a coworker, just kind of blew up. And that kind of was the last straw for them. They showed me the door, and on my way out the door, you know, anyway, my last day of work there, I remember running into this guy, and he had this book under his arm, and I was chatting with him, and he said, "Oh, it's on the science of happiness." Oh my goodness, there was something within my chest that just reached, like I wanted to reach out and grab that book out of his arm, and because that's what I needed. I recognized finally I was not happy. I was so dissatisfied, and I thought, oh my goodness, the science of happiness. That means that there's something that can be done about where I'm at right now. So I ran to the bookstore, I got that book, and I got every other book I could think of that I could find that was on this new topic. It was called Positive Psychology. There's a new field of psychology at that time. It had only been out about 15 years, and I had never heard about this. Well, I started reading everything I could on the subject, and one of the things that I found is that these social scientists would do these social experiments, and they would trick people into getting into a higher state of gratitude, or into serving other people, or into being fully present, or something like that. And I recognized that whenever they did that, the people in the experiment, their happiness levels just elevated. And I realized, what if you could get yourself into that state deliberately and intentionally without having to be tricked to get in there? What if you could treat happiness as a skill? Well, I ran that idea by a friend of mine who was a psychologist. Actually, he was a psychologist, but he had not really been practicing psychology for about 7 years because he had been coaching people on positive psychology. He realized he could help people heal themselves better by using these systems than by using traditional psychology. Well, when I shared with him my idea that happiness was a skill, he was like, Scott, that is a breakthrough idea. I've never thought of it that way. And it has transformed how he has worked with his clients ever since. So here I am, thinking I have got this fantastic new idea. This is gonna be awesome, okay? So I'm in this transition state of my life. I think, okay, what if I write a book, I create this app, and then I make a series of films that will advertise what it is that I'm doing. I can get my message out there, and then I'll have a business. I'll be able to make a living making a difference. I was super excited about this, as you could tell. I was so excited about this. And so that's what I did. I wrote a book. I created an app. We sunk our entire 401k savings into these 3 beautiful films to then advertise this new idea and to get this message out there. And therefore, I had a business. Well, what I had was a business failure because I couldn't get my message out there. I wasn't able to reach people, the right people, and make that difference in their lives. Now, do you know what it feels like to have this life-saving, this marriage-saving idea that you could really help some people out, and you just can't get it out there? Oh my goodness, it just ate away at me. Here I have this experience. I have, and you're probably in the same position. Actually, let me see. Okay. Anyway, you may be in the same position. I'm going to talk about this in just a minute. Actually, let's talk about it now. Okay, you may be in the same position. You may go, oh my goodness, I've got something to share. I've got insights, I've got wisdom, I've got experiences, I've got talents and abilities. I've got things that can help other people. How do I get it out there? How do I get my message out there? What do I do? And maybe you're looking at yourself going, oh, I'm so shy and quiet and introverted, or whatever you think your limitations are. And you think that that's holding you back. Okay. It was just destroying me to not be able to get my message out there. And I thought, if only I could get exposure for my idea like an influencer, everything would change. Okay, these influencers, they get people to pay attention. And if they would just listen to my ideas, if they would just listen to what's in my heart, it would make this tremendous difference in their lives. Well, do you have a message, and does it pain you not to be able to share it? Okay. You can add this into the chat. I'd love to hear what your thoughts, what your challenges are on this, on getting your message out there. Okay, for me, I realized there was something missing. And the thing that was missing was, I thought, okay, if I was an influencer, I'd be able to easily share my message. I'd be able to effectively grow my business, and I would be able to do more good for more people. All I needed to do was to be an influencer. And in order to be an influencer, I needed video. Video equals influencer, right? When you have video, when you have, create your message in there on video, that's how you can make an influence. Okay, there's a big problem with this equation here, especially for me, okay? Because I'm an introvert. I'm quiet, I'm shy. I don't want camera crews following me around. I don't want to be in the spotlight. I want the idea to have the spotlight. It's not about me. And I've struggled this for the longest time. I remember talking to a friend of mine about this idea, and he also kind of agreed with this. He says, I don't want to be an influencer, but I do want to have influence. That's where I started to recognize the difference between those two. When we think influencer, sometimes we think like the Kardashians or Taylor Swift or something like that. But to have influence, to be able to persuade, to be able to help other people using the influence, the position that we have, that's what our opportunity is. So you don't want to be an influencer, but you do want to have influence. So here's where I came up with this breakthrough idea that absolutely changed everything. And I hope that it's super helpful for you. Okay. If you can become a trusted source. Okay, this is the secret. Instead of being an influencer, you are a trusted source. Somebody that people come to you for answers to their questions. You have the wisdom, you have the insight, you have the knowledge, and they come to you seeking for that because they recognize that you are a trusted source. Okay, trusted source video is the secret weapon of kind people. Okay, if you're shy, if you're quiet, if you're introverted, if you're one of those people genuinely interested in making the world a better place, the trusted source video exposes you for who you are, which is a wonderful person, and people want to be with you. They want to be around you, and they want to get your services. They want to follow you. Okay, trusted source video lets you serve, sell, and scale. We're going to talk about that in more depth. And in this presentation, in this class, I'm going to share with you the 3 secrets of personalized video. Okay, this is how to create a thriving online business using trusted source video. Okay, now you may be thinking, oh, great, but video won't work for me. Okay, what's really going on here? We got to pull back the curtain here. What's really going on here is fear is speaking to you. Okay, when you say video won't work for me, that's fear. You may be thinking, oh, I'm too shy, I'm too quiet, I'm too introverted, I'm too personal, I'm too private, I'm too whatever. I'm too poor, anything like that. Anything that is keeping you from showing up using video, that's fear speaking to you. So let's crush those fears. Let's get rid of them. I think Jack Canfield was the one that said, everything that you want is on the other side of fear. So let's get over your fear and get to what you really want. So with this, I'm going to share with you the 3 secrets of personalized video. Okay, secret number 1 is how to make money using the new wave of trusted source video that favors good, honest people. Okay, Now you're going to love this. Let me just turn off my slides. I'll put that blank slide there to remind me to just talk to you occasionally so that we have this connection. So let me tell you a couple of stories here. So this one happened, I don't know, you can do the math on this. My son is 17 years old now. When he was 3 years old, we took this trip to Disneyland. And he was so excited about this. We went to this Star Wars exhibit that they had back then. And they had this, anyway, it was a show kind of thing. You know how they call their employees, their cast members, and everything's kind of like a show? Well, this was a real show with their cast members. And my son was so excited. We got there way early and he's sitting on the front row and they come out and they start asking for volunteers. And sorry, this is such an emotional story for me. Whenever I think about him sitting there, and he's so excited, he's sitting on the front row and he's raising his hand. And I'm looking at all the other kids and they're jumping out of their seats and they're just in the cast members' faces and they're showing how great they're going to be on stage because they got all this energy and they're just amazing, excited kids. And here's my kid, my son, raising his hand like he's in church. He's just this quiet, reverent little kid. And it just breaks my heart because I look at him and I think he's never going to get a chance. He's never going to be able to get up there. And if you are where my son was or where I saw him thinking, you're never going to get your chance, you're never going to be able to get your ideas out there because you're quiet, because you're shy, because you're introverted or whatever. If you feel like you're not going to get that chance, I got to tell you, miracles happen. And there's this amazing miracle that has happened in the world today. Before we get to that miracle, let me tell you about the miracle of my son. They picked him. They picked him. They brought him up on stage. They had like 20 other kids up there. My son was the littlest one out there. And they taught them like these 3 different Jedi moves that they could do with their lightsabers, you know, as they're training them. And then the stormtroopers came out and Darth Vader himself was there. And the kids got to battle the stormtroopers. And then Darth Vader came to my son. And my son was supposed to do these 3 moves and he totally forgot it. And he just went at Darth Vader just nutso. And Darth Vader had to defend himself against my little son. And the crowd went crazy because they loved him. They loved him for who he was and they loved him showing up like that. Okay, the miracle of the world has changed in that the world has changed to make it possible for you to show up as you are, imperfections and all, and people are going to love you. Okay, let me explain this to you. I call this Web 3.0. Okay, this is just to kind of give you a framework about how the world has changed. Okay, Web 1.0, I was early into the web, working at an ad agency when the internet really hit. And anyway, the companies that really jumped on board first were the ones that realized, when they did, they realized, oh my goodness, we can sell to anybody now. No longer do people have to live within the radius of our store for people to be able to buy from us. Now suddenly we can sell to anybody, and it opened up this world of e-commerce. You know, you didn't have to live right next to this store in order to buy from them. And so e-commerce came about, and like, anyway, it was this amazing wave. Now suddenly you could sell to anyone. Wave 2 comes out. Wave 2 is when other people realized, okay, people are buying from those they know, like, and trust. And the ones that they know, like, and trust are these big brands because they have all the money and they do the advertising, and so people know them. Well, what if we can look just as good as they do, create a fancy website? You know, this is this new territory. People don't exactly know everybody here. And so if we can look super professional, we can get the business that, you know, we can tap into that business. And that's what happened. Wave 2 was about fancy websites and looking amazing. Well, we're at Wave 3 now. And just think about it. You know, I mean, you've been burned before by fancy websites. You've been burned before by products and services that look great, but aren't really. And so now what do? You look at reviews, you listen to other people. You really want to see what's behind the camera. You really want to see what's going on behind the curtain. Okay, we are looking right now for authenticity. We're looking for authenticity and connection. So Wave 3 of the web is about showing up as you are, being real, being vulnerable, being authentic, but being accessible. And that's what is with this amazing part of the world today. Actually, I have a couple other stories I want to tell you. So let me just kind of put this into perspective for you with a couple little stories. So this one is about this lady. She does retreats. And I don't really do retreats. I've been thinking maybe I'll do a retreat. So I kind of followed her a little bit, but not really. And then one time I got an email from her and she talked about this topic that I was really interested in. And so I click on it and she's got a video. And I start watching this video. I got to tell you, she looked horrible. She looked like death warmed over. I mean, her hair was a mess. I don't know if she even had makeup on. She looked like she'd been up all night or something like that. But she starts telling this story. And what she shares is that she was away at a conference and she has transformative idea. It was so amazing. She needed to be able to share this with her people. And so she called up her video crew and she said, hey, I need to come into the studio tomorrow. My plane lands at this time. I'm going to come straight in. I want to get this while it's still fresh in my mind, while it's in my heart, while it's burning in me. I got to get this recorded. And so as I'm watching this and I'm listening to her passionately tell about this transformative idea, which was transformative, it was amazing. But I was looking at her and realizing, oh my goodness, she cares more about her people. She cares more about serving her tribe than she cares about how she looks to her tribe. That is remarkable. I want to be with more people like her. I want to follow her. And I have followed her ever since. Okay, that's what happens when we show up, when we're real, when we're genuine, when we're authentic. Okay, another quick story. So another friend of mine, he is a drone pilot. So he does filmmaking and, for like Ford and all sorts of big car companies and things. And as he does this drone photography filming, he also has courses that he teaches. He teaches people how to do what he does, how to film, but also how to have their own business so that they can make a living being drone pilots. And he will do like a webinar to teach this. And I remember, anyway, he told me about this. So there's this one time he was doing this webinar and this fly starts flying around his room and it's just driving him nuts. And so in the middle of his webinar, he hold on a second. And he goes to the back of the room and he gets a chair and he's chasing this fly around and the fly keeps moving and it's this kind of errors as he's trying to capture this fly and everyone's sitting there just kind of watching him, waiting for him to do this, and they're just looking at him and they're going, hey, this guy's crazy. I like this guy. He's real, he's genuine, he's authentic. At the end of his webinar, more people bought into his products and services than had ever done that at any of his webinars before, because he showed up as himself. Okay, that's what you have the opportunity to do right now. That's what Web 3.0 is all about. That is how the world has changed. That is how there is this amazing miracle that when you show up as you are going to make this amazing difference in people's lives. So if you've been thinking, oh man, if only they knew what was in my heart, if they only could feel that, then I'd be able to make that difference. Well, the best way to express this is with video. The beautiful thing with video is people can look in your eyes. They can hear the sincerity of your voice, and it's shortcuts so they get to know your process so that they go, yes, that's someone that I like. We buy from those that we know, like, and trust, and video shortcuts that get to know you, period, so that it's really quick for them to be able to know, like, and trust you. Okay. And then video lets you serve, sell, and scale. It helps you use this human interaction, this personalized communication in remarkable ways so that you can serve, sell, and scale in remarkable ways. Okay. So, and you can do this just by being you. Isn't that awesome? Okay. So what if you could make a living making a difference by being more you than you have ever been before? Isn't that an amazing idea? Doesn't that just kind of open your mind? Oh my goodness, I no longer have to show up all sparkly. I can be me and I can connect with people and I can make that difference. That's what we're going to talk about. I mean, that's what we're talking about, but that's what I want to open your mind to. Okay. Web 3.0 Doing trusted source video, it lets you ride this wave that favors good, honest people. Now, this translates to how to make money using the new wave of trusted source video that favors good, honest people. Okay, do you get that? Do you understand that the world has changed? Do you understand when people can look in your eyes and they can hear that you're sincere and they can truly connect with you? Then you are able to serve, you're able to sell, you're able to scale, you're able to get clients. Okay, now what would you like to be the trusted source of? Add it into the chat. Tell me what you would like to be the trusted source of. Okay. Yeah, just put it in there. So, as you think about, what is it that you've gone through? What are your life experiences? What are your talents? What are, maybe you have, anyway, you probably already know this already. So just add it in there. What would you like to be the trusted source of? That if somebody were going through challenges, if you could talk to your 20-year-old self or just the person behind you that is going through the same challenges that you went through, what would you like to help them with? Okay, I have a friend, Rolinda Stott. She's an amazing artist, but she discovered along with her art, she had a passion for helping people who were hurting. She recognized that the corporate trauma cycle was this painful thing that was destroying identities and confidence and just, it was killing people. And she said, I would like to be the trusted source for healing those suffering from the corporate trauma cycle. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, she put her stake in the ground, her flag in the ground. She says, this is what I'm about. Yes, I'm an artist here, but I've got more. I've got more to give. I've got these passions. I've got this voice inside me saying, hey, your life was meant for more. You've got a big purpose. And she started helping people, coaching them. And she used video in order to do this so that she could still have her art business, but be able to grow this in other ways. Now, you may be thinking, okay, yeah, I like this, but I can't afford a video crew. Okay, can you follow a formula? Because what's really going on here is you don't know what's possible. Okay, so again, I told you at the beginning of this web class that this is just me. This is me, with a camera right here. I don't have a crew. I don't have a team. This is me live streaming it basically and recording this. Okay, there are so many technologies out there right now that make it possible for you to get your message out there using self-recorded video. Okay, so what I'm going to share with you right now is the impact to income video formula, how to create prolific content without having to hire or wait for a video crew. Actually, that's a reminder to myself that I got a story. Okay, so this happened, it was like 21 years ago. Anyway, it was like 2001. My wife and I wrote a screenplay, a script for a movie. Actually, she wrote the book and I wrote the screenplay for the movie, and we worked together on it. It was this really fun collaborative event, and it was this beautiful story. It was a faith-based film that we were looking to do. We got her book published, but the film, so costly. It was so expensive that I finished the script, and then I started shopping it around, talking to different business people. And I remember talking to this one business guy, and I told him about my problem. I need to figure out how to raise money to be able to do this film. And he said, Scott, getting your film produced is not your problem. You can get somebody to invest in it. You can make it as beautiful as you want, but nobody will ever see it. So he said, Scott, the problem is not in the creation of your film, it's in the distribution. And there are only 6 distributors out there. And even if you're going with an independent film, you have to go through one of these 6 distributors in order to get it into any of the theaters. Nobody's ever going to see your film because they're not going to accept it. And I was devastated. I had to go get a job, and it ate away at me. But I paid attention, and I noticed as the world started to change. And I remember when YouTube was bought for $1.65 billion, and I had been paying attention to what YouTube was doing, but now there's money behind that, and they're really going to change the world. So this is years ago, but I recognize that problem with distribution is no longer a problem. Anyone can get their message out there, and then along with that. So if you've been thinking, you weren't even thinking that distribution was your problem. And it's not anymore. But if you're thinking that getting your videos produced is the problem, that's not the problem either. Okay, if you can follow this impact income video formula, you can actually create your own videos. make money doing that so that you can create more, so that you can make more of a difference in other people's lives. So here are the 5 steps. What do you call it? 5 facets of the impact to income video formula. Oh, actually, just kind of as the foundation for it, entrepreneurs get paid by, for solving other people's problems. So that's what you have to start with. You have to make sure that you're starting with a problem. You start with that struggle. You put it into your story so that you can truly connect with other people who are going through that struggle and will connect with your story. Then you come to this solution bridge. This is your shortcut, the process. This is how you get over that gulf of pain and misery that they are in. And then you create a system so that they can get repeated, predictable results just like what you got. And then you find a stage to be able to present this. Okay, now there's a lot of depth to go into all of this stuff. We don't have time to go through all of this right now at this time. But when you use this formula right, you can use video in remarkable ways to where you truly connect with people. You can serve, you can sell, you can scale in amazing ways. And anyway, I call it the impact to income video formula. Let me share with you just a real quick story so you have kind of an example of how this all works. So I have a friend named Dane. He was a flat worker, which meant that he did concrete. And every time he'd come home, he smelled awful. And he had to shower and change before he could kiss his wife. And he's like, I don't want to live like this all the time. And he got this idea for flipping houses. And he got this guy to buy into helping him do that. And he kind of invested in him. And so together they did this to where he got the money from here, and then he took his expertise, and then he would redo a house and sell it and make some money. Well, he started to do that, and he started to get some momentum, and he got better at this. And other people would always ask him, how are you doing that? And so he would invite them in. He would finish up a house, get it ready for sale, and then he would invite people in, teach them how to do what he was doing right there. And then if they wanted to buy in, and he had ways for them to work with him, either finding properties or whatever, so that they could actually partner together, and he would teach them, and then he could grow this. And it was this amazing thing until COVID-19 hit. And suddenly he couldn't pack the house with all of these people, and it was kind of crippling his business until he realized, hey, what if I bring in a camera and I do the same thing? I bring them into a house that I've finished, that I'm ready to sell, and then I teach other people. And he started live streaming his lessons, his classes. And when he did that, he exploded his business, so that he had people like 3 states away that were calling him up saying, hey, how can I work with you? Okay, that is the opportunity that we have when we're using recorded video, when we're showing up as the trusted source and we're truly connecting with people. That's what you have the opportunity to do. Now, you may be thinking, okay, yeah, I like this, but I don't have a huge following. This is a limiting belief, okay? Let's identify it for what it is, and let's get rid of it. Okay, so I'm going to share with you the 3rd secret of personalized video, and that is what I call the Spotlight 1000 strategy. How to make a difference with just a few people. Okay, so when you think about influencer, you think the Kardashians, or you think Taylor Swift with 129 million followers. Okay, that's what you think you have to have influence. And that's really not the case at all. Back when when we do TV advertising, doing a TV commercial was amazingly powerful. You're using visual communication that triggers all of your senses, well, except for taste. Smell-o-vision doesn't quite hit on like we want it to. But anyway, it uses all of your senses, and you can really sell product when you're using TV advertising. The problem is it's incredibly expensive, and it's extremely ineffective. Not ineffective, sorry, inefficient, okay? Because you're broadcasting to prairie dogs and rabbits. You're sending out this message to everyone. Well, what if you could take the same kind of visual communication and be really targeted on who you are sending that message to? Kevin Kelly pointed out that you really only need 1,000 true fans. Okay, so we're gonna do the math here. Okay. Let's say that you have a $27 challenge and you have a $10 ebook and you have a $67 group coaching experience. Okay. That adds up to $104. Now, if you serve people, if you have 1,000 raving fans, 1,000 true fans who buy from you, that $104 times 1,000, that's $104,000. Okay. That's a pretty good living, right? You really only need to focus on a few people. 1,000 people can make a remarkable difference. Now, what if you had a $497 course? You times that by 1,000, that's $500,000 just by focusing on 1,000 people. Okay, when you use video, you can use video to serve, you can use video to sell, and it absolutely helps you scale. Okay, I have a $497 course. Maybe at the end of this web class, 25 people say, hey, I want to get that. And that's $12,000. Okay, now that's $12,000 for an hour's worth of work. But honestly, I wouldn't even call this work at all because I feel like I'm adding value to your life. I'm pointing out some things that you didn't know about. I'm helping crush your fears, your limiting beliefs. I'm helping you live the person that you know that you are meant to be. Okay. When we use video, we can really make that difference in people's lives. Okay, so let me share with you my Spotlight 1000 strategy. This is the framework for focusing on just the 1,000 people. And kind of the key point of the 1,000 is these are 1,000 people that if you can go direct to them and serve to them and provide your products and your services direct to them without going through like a distributor or a publisher or somebody that's going to take a big cut. Well, through the internet, through e-commerce, through all this stuff, you have that ability, right? I mean, you're thinking about how you've got your stuff organized. Okay, so the Spotlight 1000 strategy is that you show up, you stand out, you speak up, and you serve right. Now, of course, we don't have time to go through all of this in depth, so I'm going to just talk about the standout one real quick. So with that, let's see, I'm going to turn off my slides for just a quick sec and share something different with you that's really kind of cool. So let's see. Think. All right. So again, I just wanted to point out, I am doing this all on my own, on the fly. And I wanted to point that out to you so that you can see what is possible for you. So this is something that I recorded. I love going to webinars. I love going to other people's web classes and learning what they're doing, seeing what's out there, and getting into that service mindset, finding out what other people are doing to help. So what this was it was a webinar for people that were like coaches and energy healers, and they wanted to grow their audience. And they felt like the thing that they need, they just need a bigger audience, and then they're going to find great success. But what they don't realize is that most of these people are using the defaults. They're using the default camera, the default angle. And as you watch through this, just think, all right, who would be the next person? As you watch this video, look through and go, okay, I really think she's a leader. I want to know what he's about. Whatever he's, as you look through this, can you see people that stand out? Okay. For the most part, most people are just doing the defaults. Okay. They are not standing out. They're not being seen as a leader. And so if they're not a leader, how can they be that trusted source? Okay, it doesn't mean that you need to have huge expensive equipment or anything like that, but you need to do some things to be intentional and deliberate about standing out, about being able to serve and to sell and to scale, to look and sound, and I say sell like a leader. So with that, let me just get back to my slides. Again, this is a little bit of a juggle. Thanks for being patient while I do this. Oh, let me turn it back on here. And come here. Okay, so you can see that it is absolutely possible. What you need to do is you need to stand out as a leader. Again, there are 4 other components or 3 other components to that strategy. But with the Spotlight 1000 strategy, kind people have all the advantages if they show up, if they stand out, if they speak up, and if they serve right. Okay, now let me ask you, why did you choose to join me today? Okay, how is what you're doing right now currently working? Are you getting the kind of success that you want? Are you living to the fullest? Are you able to reach those people that you really want? Okay, well, let me ask you a question. Okay, if you were to follow what I shared with you in secret number 1 and be that trusted source. Be on camera as use trusted source video to really connect with people. And if you were to jump into secret number 2 and follow that formula to record yourself, and if you were to follow what I shared in secret number 3, and use video to serve, to sell, to scale, and really to just focus on even just 1,000 people. If you were to follow those frameworks, would you be successful? Could you see yourself being successful? Could you see yourself making those sales that you need to keep your business going? Could you see yourself making that impact and connecting with people, the right people, the ones that want to buy from you because you are who you are and they connect with you as that person? Okay, I get super geeky about this. I just absolutely love this. There is amazing possibility for you. Okay, you can absolutely do this. Now, actually, let me ask you one more question, and that is, would you like some help? Would you like me to help you? Okay, just add it into the chat. Awesome. Okay, I'll just kind of wait for that to come through while I just kind of explain this. So the new wave of trusted source video changes everything. It gets you from where you are right now to where you want to be. Video is that bridge. Trusted source video is that bridge where they can look in your eyes, they can hear the sincerity of your voice, and they can truly connect with you. Okay, thanks. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to move forward. I'm going to share with you a special offer. And with that, actually, let me tell you my story part 2. Okay, so I failed. First attempt in learning, right? But at that time, it felt like a really big failure. I had this life-saving, this marriage-saving idea. Happiness is a skill. And I had it packaged for people, but I couldn't get it out to them. And I failed. I had to go back to a corporate job, and anyway, it just really ate away at me. But I didn't go back as the same person because I had changed. I had seen what was possible. I knew I could help people. I knew it was possible for me to make a living making a difference. And I was trying to figure out how to crack that code. I remember I started paying attention to more things. I started learning how to light, started learning how to do audio, how to record myself, how to use video as a tool. The other thing that I did was that I could never get that math out of my head. You know, that if I just serve 1,000 people, you know, how quickly all of that adds up. And so I kept paying attention to that. And I just kept that in the back of my mind. And then when COVID-19 hit, it just decimated the filmmaking world. And suddenly I couldn't travel. I couldn't have people come into my studio. I couldn't serve them in the way that I was used to doing it. And I remember having a call with a friend of mine, and she said, "Oh, Scott, you've got what I need." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She says, "Video. You know how to use video. You know how to record yourself. Can you teach me how to do that? I have this mission. I have this need to be able to get this message out to help people, and I don't know how to do that." Well, because of COVID, of course, I couldn't travel to her. She's like 5 or 8 states away or something like that. And so I started teaching her how to do these things, and her life started to change because that pain that she was feeling about not being able to get her message out there, that was going away. And now suddenly she could really, she was able to make that difference in other people's lives. She was able to use video in remarkable ways that has really transformed her business. So I'm just going to, let's see. Yeah, I'll just shrink that down. Okay. So would it be the worst thing in the world to take a shortcut? No. Well, I mean, maybe if you're like running track and that's shortcut's a cheater, or something like that. But is it gonna be the worst thing in the world? And maybe, maybe it's bad because when you go through all the pain, then you come out a different person on the other side. But I don't know. If there is pain that could be avoided, I look for avoiding that pain. So what I have is a shortcut the process tool resource for you that is just really absolutely amazing. Okay, so this is my masterclass. I call it Emerge. It is for people who are emerging as leaders, and also for people who feel like something is emerging from within them. They have their voice that's coming out now. They have this purpose. They have a big mission that they are to accomplish. This is my masterclass on how to serve, sell, and scale using trusted source video. So this is a 6-week masterclass. What's going to go on is in week number 1, you're going to learn how to grow your business using innovative new video strategies. In week number 2, we're going to talk about the impact to income video formula. In week 3, we're going to talk about the overcoming the single biggest obstacle stopping you. And no, it's not technology. In week 4, we're going to talk about video production for people who have better things to do with their lives than produce video. In week 5, we're going to talk about how to look, sound, and sell like a leader. And in week 6, we're going to talk about systemizing this so you can create video as easily as starting a Zoom call. Okay, you're going to get all of my years in advertising, in filmmaking, and as an entrepreneur all put together to help you here. Okay, who this will work for is for people that are just starting out, as well as those who are ready to scale. It will work for those who are frustrated with marketing strategies that don't work, as well as those who want to avoid those frustrations in the first place. Who it won't work for are those people who are just happy where they're at, or those who are satisfied with the level of success that they've achieved. Early success can limit you. And the worst success in the world, I think, is to get early success in helping other people. And then you don't fully live your purpose. You don't really get to those people that need you and that you were meant to be able to help. Okay, I think we all have this big purpose, this mission to accomplish. Okay, this is about radical change. This is about getting outside of your comfort zone and really making a remarkable difference. Now, I was talking to my son about this, the 3-year-old Jedi Padawan, now 17, and I was telling him about how I still feel uncomfortable getting on camera, and I really don't like my images, my face on the videos and things like that. And he said, yeah, but Dad, you don't want to be just some guy. It's kind of a great thought, right? You don't want to just blend in. You've got something remarkable to share. And even if that is uncomfortable, even if it's outside of your comfort zone to be able to do this, you have a gift to share. Okay, so that is my masterclass on how to serve, sell, and scale using trusted source video. Now you may be thinking, okay, but how do I shoot video? Okay, you're going to absolutely love this bonus. This is so cool. In fact, I was just going through it this morning. It's just absolutely amazing with everything that it's going to teach you. So I'm sure that you're not thinking, oh boy, yeah, I want to learn how to be a filmmaker or, start from scratch or something like that. You don't feel like that. You want to get your message out there. And it's like video is the bridge, but it's also oh man, do I have to do that? Well, this is going to cover everything you need to know on audio, on camera, on editing, on graphics, on hiring, on outsourcing, on where to get music and sound effects. But the best thing is this is all based on just-in-time learning. Okay, you don't need to feel overwhelmed. You don't need to know everything. You don't need to get into this perpetual state of learning, ever learning. Throw that away. You only need to know 3 things, or you only need to be working on 3 things, okay? You need to know where you're going, have a really clear vision of where it is that you're headed, and then you just need to know the next step or 2. And so if you focus on just-in-time learning, and then you go, okay, I need to know now about shooting, or I need to know now about editing. You jump in there, you get the information that you need and all the tools and the skills, but it's specific for you. It's not for a filmmaker. It's for somebody that's a difference maker. And it's just the information that you need. Okay. So with the master class, you're also going to get my video production toolkit, the A to Z toolkit, and it's going to help you with that. Okay. Now you're probably going to think, okay, now what camera do I get? What would you recommend? Well, another bonus that I'm putting with this bundle is my gear guide. Okay, you may be thinking, what camera, what microphone, what lights, what mounting systems, editing systems, all that stuff. I put that all together. Now, I have been burned so many times by buying the wrong equipment or cheaper equipment or something. Like one time I remember I saved a bunch of money and got some camera batteries that I had not fully researched out. And first of all, they failed really quick. And second of all, one of them expanded in the camera and I almost lost the camera. Okay, I research every piece of gear out before I buy it. And I'm happy to pass that wisdom on to you. Doesn't mean that you have to buy what I buy, but you can shortcut the process and look at these things and go, okay, and it gets you a place to start. Okay, all that research is there done for you. So that is my updated gear guide that you get in the bundle. Okay, one more bonus that you're just gonna love. This is my studio setup blueprint. Now this has transformed how I'm able to serve, sell, and scale. How I'm able to use trusted source video, how I'm able to show up, because I have this simple setup in my office to where I turn things on it's like I turn 3 things on and then I fire this up kind of like I was doing a Zoom call. And yet I look professional and it stands out and it works. Okay. Getting a studio makes your life so much easier, so much better. Happy to share that with you. And I add that to the bundle. Okay. Now you may be thinking, okay, but I'm going to have some questions along the way as I get into this. Absolutely. And you're going to want to get access into my Facebook group so that you can get all of your questions answered really quick. So this gives you the ultimate bundle, the Emerge Masterclass on how to serve, sell, and scale using trusted source video. Now, it was a bunch of years ago, but I remember listening to Steve Jobs. He was kind of wrapping up one of his Macworld conferences, and he just introduced a bunch of new products everyone was excited about. And then he said, you know what? I do have one more thing. And he walked over to this table, and on this table was a manila envelope. And he reached in and he pulled out a laptop that was so thin, it was hidden in that manila envelope, had been sitting there the whole time. And the audience went nuts. Well, I do have one more thing. And this is an amazing thing. Anyway, I think this is the coolest thing. Now, this is limited to just the first 30 people. Now, the reason for this is my time is really limited, and so I have to allocate this to the places and the people that I think where it's going to make the biggest difference. And this is what I think will make the biggest difference for you. And that is for the first 30 people that sign up, I have a personal video review that I will do with you so that you can figure out, maybe it's a video that you've already done and you're like, okay, how come it didn't land? How come it's not working? What do I change for next time when I do this? Or what do I change right now? Or maybe it's a video that you're working on right now or that you're going to do in the future. I'm happy to give you my years of experience as an advertiser, my years of experience as a filmmaker, and my years of experience. Where I think I add the greatest value is that being able to pull my entrepreneurial dreams out of the trash and be able to really go after them and help people in remarkable ways. You're going to get all of that with the personal video review. So this is the ultimate bundle. Okay. This is everything, and I hope that you're excited about this. I hope you're excited, you're nervous, you're interested, breathless. I hope you can see yourself leading, teaching, serving, persuading, influencing other people, changing from that one-to-one model to a one-to-many, using video to serve, to sell, to scale. Okay, I hope you can understand this is life-changing stuff. Now, I've given you a price there, right? And when you think about, okay, what is the true value when this changes your life, when it helps you so that you don't have to go and get, a job or, like go to work like that. And you're able to make a difference in other people's lives. You're able to really connect with them. Okay. What is the true value of that? Okay. And you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, this is going to be a huge number still. It's not. $9.97. You get all of this stuff. You get this shortcut the process, everything for $9.97. You get stuff to avoid overwhelm. You get stuff to get rid of your doubts and your fears and your limiting beliefs. You get all of these things that are going to help you get going quickly. I remember talking to one lady and she said, Scott, I need to know what you know. Like, I recognize you have what I need here in being able to use video in my business. Her business was, anyway, I'm not going to get into that, but this is my value that I have for you. Actually, I need to put up in the captions how to get this. So first of all, okay, so there are 2 ways to do this. There should be a link just down below. I just showed something in the video, but actually below that, there should be an orange button there where you can just click and go right into that. If that doesn't show up, another way for you to get this is to just open up a new web browser, a new tab or something like that. Go to scottwilhite.com/emerge. You're going to see a page that looks kind of like this. You'll see a little orange button. Click the orange button. It's going to take you to a page like this where you can fill out your name, your email address, and click that orange button. Or you may be thinking, okay, wait, what was everything involved in the whole bundle? Scott, went kind of quick through it. Okay, just scroll down to the page. You're going to see everything in there, and you're going to find out a little bit more about it. Scroll to the top of the page, enter your name and your email address, click the orange button, and then you get to the order form. You know how to do order forms. Fill out your name, your credit card information, and away you go. Now, when you get the confirmation page, it's going to look like this, and you'll see a little link there that says access your bundle here. And so when you click that, it will get you into where you are going to create your membership area, your access page. So you're going to add a password to this. So just add that in there, and then that gets you into where the entire bundle is. Now at the very top, you're going to see a few things there. It'll look like this. The first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to watch that intro video. It's going to explain about the whole bundle and everything that you've got. And then you're going to want to jump into masterclass number 1. Okay. It's going to have an activity for you and all sorts of fun things for you to do. And then if you look below that, that's where the A to Z video production toolkit is. All the information is all right here together for you as a toolkit. But remember, this is just-in-time learning. You don't need to go through all of this stuff right now. It's all organized so that you can find audio, video, editing, like all of that stuff when you need it. Okay, you just need to know where you're going and the next step or two. Scroll down to the bottom of the page and you'll find the gear guide, the influencer studio setup, and access to the Facebook page. Okay, that is the ultimate bundle. I am so happy to be able to present that to you so that you can make a difference, so that you can use trusted source video to really get your message out there and make that difference that you know you can make. That voice inside of you, that hole that you have felt has not been filled. This will help you get that out there. Anyway, you're absolutely going to love it. I can't wait for you to get into the masterclass stuff because there's so much stuff that I have in there that is going to help just transform your mind and get you going and give you the tool set, the mindset, and the skill set to make that difference. Okay, so now you have a couple of options. Okay, option 1 is that you could try to figure out how to create trusted source video on your own, but you do run the risk of being in the same place this time next year, having wasted tons of time and money. Okay, the option number 2 is that you could commit to growing your influence in your business by creating trusted source video using a proven roadmap. Okay, this is where I feel like I am able to live my purpose, is helping you have the power to live your purpose and be able to shortcut the process. There's so many things that I've learned, and this just streamlines it for you and gets you there faster. Okay, this is about speed. Okay, and here's the things that you're going to overcome with this. You're going to overcome your fear of being on camera. You're going to overcome your fear of putting yourself out there, or that paralyzing perfectionism that keeps you playing small. You're going to get rid of your fear of tech overwhelm or your limiting beliefs about what you can or can't do. And you're going to get rid of that doubt over your self-worth. Okay. Oh, I mean, this is so transformative. I just love this stuff. So let me share with you just one quick story. So the Roger Bannister principle. Do you know Roger Bannister? Okay, so he was the first guy to break the 4-minute mile. Now, they had been trying to break it for 60 years. And finally, doctors said, it's not possible. The human body is not built. It's not organized. It's not designed to run a mile faster than 4 minutes. It's impossible. You can't do it. Well, in 1954, I think it was, on a rainy day in England, Roger Bannister broke it. But he did more than just break that 4-minute mile barrier, because just 46 days later, not only was the 4-minute mile broken, his own record was broken. And less than a year later, it was broken by 3 runners in the same race. Okay, Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute mile, but he broke this mental barrier that said you can't do it, that it's not possible for you. Okay, as I have been sharing this stuff with you, I have been showing you what's possible. Okay, again, as I mentioned, that I am doing this just on my own here, just you and me talking together. I don't have a video crew. I don't have a support team. I am able to create these things just on my own. You can do this too. This is absolutely possible for you. And trusted source video is the way to do it. Because as you've been watching me and you've seen me with my imperfections and things, and you're probably thinking, I could do this better than Scott. Yes, absolutely you can. But I hope you also look at me and go, you know what? I like him. I know him. He's right. In everything that I'm doing, I'm trying to model what is possible for you. You can use video to serve, sell, and scale. And it is truly a remarkable thing because you just show up as you. Any of those doubts, those fears, those limiting beliefs that you've had as to why you can't use video or why you can't afford it or use it enough, okay, those are all gone. See what you can do when you can see what you can do. Okay. I want to tell you about this sad house. I call it a sad house. It's a gorgeous house. It's like 2 miles away from where I'm at right now. And whenever I drive by there, oh my goodness, it is so beautiful. The garage is so big. You can park 2 Greyhound buses side by side. The roof line is incredible. The stonework is amazing. What I find sad is that it is surrounded by this chain link fence around the whole house. An under construction fence. You've seen these before, right? And whenever I drive by, I see this poor old guy pushing a wheelbarrow or carrying a box of something, and he is working on his house all the time. He has been working on his house for more than 5 years. Okay. Are you working on your dream or are you living in it? Are you working on your business or are you living in it? Okay, get a team. Get somebody who's gone there before to show you the shortcuts and the easy ways to go. Don't go through all the pain. Get somebody who's been there to be your guide and to help you along the way. Oh, I just wish this guy would do this because his house, oh, it's so gorgeous. Okay, let me tell you a quick story real quick. So when I was working on creating my app, I remember I'd created kind of this demo thing and I was shopping it around to different technology places to see who could program this for me and help me put this together. I remember talking to this one guy at this technology company, and I told him about what it could do and how it used positive psychology and how it gamified or will gamify and all these things. And he was so excited. He ran over to his computer and he said, Scott, you need to do a Kickstarter campaign. Now, you know what a Kickstarter campaign is, right? It's where somebody has this brilliant idea and they put it out to the world in sort of a prototype. Here's the prototype. Here's what it can do. If you fund me, if you fund into the project, then I'll have the money to actually create this and then I'll be able to sell it. and he's so excited about this, this guy, because he says, Scott, this lady right here, she did a gratitude journal and it does this and this and this. And like 40,000 people, actually it was $40,000 she rented. I can't remember how many people actually were involved, but all these people and all this money came together to fund that. And he said, her thing does this and this and this. And Scott, your thing does this and this and this and this and this. It's going to be amazing. And I remember getting dizzy and thinking I was going to throw up. And I slumped out onto his leather couch there because I was afraid. I knew what was necessary in a Kickstarter Kickstarter campaign. It was video. You need to tell the founder's story. You need to tell the inventor's story. And that meant that I would actually have to be on camera. And I got so sick, I almost passed out. And I think, I think back at that and I wonder how my life would be different, how other people's lives would be different if I had the courage to get on camera instead of cowering away like I did. I'm sorry, get a little emotional here too, because that failure, I worry that maybe I could have helped more people, but I didn't because I was afraid. If you are afraid of using technology, if you are afraid of showing up, if these doubts and fears and limiting beliefs are holding you back, and not only holding you back, but holding other people back from getting the help you can give them, you got to get over that. I am happy to help you do that. Video makes that difference. It's the engine that you need. So why'd you come here today? Maybe you came here because you're tired. Maybe you're exhausted from too much one-on-one work and you want to be able to choose who you work with and when. Maybe you came here today because you're worried, you're afraid your entrepreneurial dreams aren't going to work out and you're going to have to stay at or go to a 9-to-5 job. Or maybe you're here because you're scared, you're anxious, you may not get your voice and your ideas out there, and you will one day die with your message still in you. You don't have to do that. You don't have to live that way. I am so happy to help you. I'm so happy to shortcut that process. One of the things that has kept me going when my dreams were in the trash and when I wasn't making it through was this quote by Winston Churchill. He said, never give up on something you can't go a day without thinking about. Okay, I am so happy to help you do this. Again, just click the button below. It should be an orange button down there that you see now. Or the other option is to go to scottwilhite.com/emerge, and you'll be able to get into the masterclass, the ultimate bundle. This is how to serve, sell, and scale using trusted source video. I am so happy to be able to help you shortcut that process, avoid the pain, get your message out there, live your life to the fullest. If you feel that you have a big purpose, if you feel like you have a calling, a mission, something to help other people with, you've got this wisdom, you've got this insight, help the next guy back or the next gal back. You have that opportunity to do that, and I'm really happy to help you with that. And with that, that's my last slide. Okay, so anyway, type in the URL scottwilhite.com/emerge, or click that orange button below. Get into the ultimate bundle, get into the class, get into my Facebook group. I'm excited to be able to communicate with you there. I'm excited to be able to do a personal video review if you act quick and enter one of those first 30. I'm excited to help you live your purpose, live your dream, get your message out there, get over those doubts and fears, get over those limiting beliefs, and live the life that you know you were meant to do. Thank you for allowing me to serve you for this time. And I'm excited to see you on the inside. So with that, I'll say goodbye for now, and I'll see you inside.